Wayne here with Tri County Locksmith Service, and today we're going to be checking out the dual saw RS1200. I was checking out the other dual saw products, and the DS650. It turned out to really kind of surprise me in certain ways on how well it actually did some things. It really did solve a problem. It really did make it better. It made the cutting experience easier, less cutback, cut through more materials, steel, cut quickly through anything that it was cutting, more quickly than a circular saw and wood, and more quickly than a grinder through metal. So that, that really kind of opened my eyes to see, well, what other products do they have that could be useful with the dual purpose. Basically, the whole point behind dual products, dual saws, dual recip saws, is that you're always, the tools that are available now are applying a force one way. Your blade is going back and forth like this, and this one does like this. So the point of it is to offset the friction and the force of the other blade being used. Same thing with the recip saw, with the circular saw. One blade is going one way, the other's going the other way. They counterbalance each other, so you're not creating that bucking effect of it. So we got one of these here. This is the 1200, and right out of the box, it just feels like a heavy-duty tool. Some of my first thoughts of this thing right out of the package is, wow, this thing is heavy. This thing must be pretty heavy-duty. That could be a good thing. I'm sure it's heavier than a normal recip saw because of the extra components that need to go down in the end here to make that dual movement. And I usually like heavy and heavy-duty things. The only thing that would concern me is maybe if you're holding this thing up above your head all day, it's going to start to get heavy, whereas you may want something a little bit lighter. But for the most part, I would much rather have the heavy-duty factor over the lightweight factor pretty much any day of the week. I'd rather have the tool last and do the job that I need it to do, rather than be built light duty and breaks. So that's something that maybe they can come out with later. Maybe dual will get big, and they'll be able to do cordless stuff and be able to work on some weight issues then at that point in time. But for right now, it feels heavy duty. This one has the feature where you pull this lever here and you can adjust the handle either way, get you the best grip. If you're cutting sideways all day, you can adjust it like so. This one you can adjust the stroke, so you can go 20 millimeter or 30 millimeter. Basically what you want to set that for is if you're cutting fast, you want it to cut deeper, and if you're trying to plunge cut, you're going to want it to not cut so deep. This has a speed setting, variable speed setting. I have two other recip saws, and one's a Porter cable and one's the DeWalt battery 18-volt version. And they're not really that fancy. I know you can get some fancy options like the turning handle on some of the new ones, but it's good that they incorporated all that into this right off the bat. Usually the other companies, Milwaukee, Porter cable, they have different levels. You can get the bare bones basic, or you can get the one with all the fancy stuff. They've put all the fancy stuff in this one, so for a similar price point, it's really going to be about the advantages that this tool allows you to do that the other ones don't. That was kind of the point with the dual saw. Either if you want to cut metal and steel and wood and drywall and all of the above, and aluminum, everything, you can buy that saw, or you can buy a grinder and then have to buy grinding wheels, and then buy a circular saw and have to do that too. So right out of the box, let's just take a look at this thing. It just feels really heavy duty, adjustable speed. I'm assuming we're going to be able to plunge cut with this, whereas we're not going to with the regular saw. You can see these blades here, and this is a 12 TPI, tooth per inch blade, and we're going to just see how the product cuts, how it cuts through things, and you can see how it moves like so. So once again, a normal recip blade just has one single blade that goes back and forth. This one, they're going to offset each other. they're going to offset each other's force by moving in counter moving blades. So first thing, let's see how hard it is to put these in. Doesn't look like it's going to be very difficult. Let me simply, let's see here, push these two together. Okay, so we can move this. We'll push these two because these were in different spots. You just push them together. You can do it by hand. Make sure the machine's unplugged while you're doing it. And then you're going to take your blades. There's two little levers. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's two little levers. These just go up, 1 and 2. Once they're in the upright position, you may insert the blades. They do have metal and wood blades for both of these, so that's a good thing. We'll put these in here, just like so. Put them down, re-secure these latches. That's good that they made it easy to change out, because that was one of the concerns that I was going to have, is maybe you have to use an Allen wrench tools to be able to put these in there and install them. You don't have to do that, so that works really good right there. And then we'll plug it in. It does come with wood blades, longer blades, and metal blades right in the box. Let's put the box down. Plug this in and take a look at it here. Okay, so that's a nice slow start to it. I pull the trigger and it gives it a nice slow feel, so it's not just going to hurry up and jam those blades like we've all probably done into whatever you're trying to cut, and it's not going to shake and rattle you loose and you know, damage the blades. So that's kind of a good feature right there. You can adjust the stroke. And that's a good thing. Everything looks like it's working well. You can adjust the speed, so this would be full speed. And then we can adjust this dial right down here to a slower speed. So that's all good news, good information. It looks like they've got all the aesthetics of it put together properly, all the comfort features put together properly. So let's get this thing on some wood and let's get it on some metal and see what it really does.